Humans can perceive the shape and weight of a held object through dynamic touch. However, the haptic feedback provided by current VR controllers often does not match the virtual objects they are trying to represent. Whether interacting with a heavy, light, big or small object, the haptic experience of the user is identical. No matter how good the visual and audio simulation, there will still be a divide between what is experienced in the virtual world and the feedback current controllers provide. Several VR controllers have been proposed that shift internal weights to change their center of mass. These kinds of props provide what is known as dynamic passive haptic feedback, and they have been proven to increase immersion and user enjoyment. Some of these dynamic props can also control their surface area to cause greater air resistance and haptic feedback. However, existing examples use flat surfaces that only create air resistance if swung in the correct orientation. We present Swifty, a low-cost and mechanically simple prototype that aims to combine dynamic weight and air resistance. Swifty is completely wireless and uses a stepper motor to raise and lower a weighted ring. This weighted ring is also attached to the surrounding bellows. Raising the weighted ring moves Swifty's center of mass, making the prop feel heavier, while expanding the bellows makes the prop feel bigger and longer. Since the bellows are circular, they provide the same amount of resistance no matter the orientation. In order to test the effectiveness of Swifty, we created a virtual food slicing game. Food is launched towards the player and must be sliced using either Swifty or a standard controller. The player can choose between a small one-handed sword or a large double-handed sword. The player can simply reach over their shoulder in order to swap between swords. Swifty will grow or shrink depending on which sword has just been drawn. Despite the inability to do a large user experiment due to COVID-19, by comparing it to existing props as well as performing a heuristic evaluation, we were able to show that Swifty is more immersive and enjoyable than any standard VR controllers.